Hey guys, today I'm going to show you how to set up a text messaging campaign in REI Lead Blast. There are a couple of things you need to do before you set up your campaign. First off, you want to make sure you have phone numbers purchased, you have your list uploaded, and you have your phone numbers properly routed to a call route. So whenever people call back, your phone numbers in REI Lead Blast, they're getting routed somewhere. Because what happens is if people are texting back, you're going to have some people that actually want to call you back. So you want to make sure you're not missing out on any motivated seller leads by not having your call route set up. Once you have those three things set up, let's go to campaigns and new campaign and SMS. Here you can name your campaign. And you can select your start date. Typically, I like setting up my start date and time for about 30 minutes out of when I'm setting everything up. Just gives me time to make sure that if there are any errors or anything I need to configure after I set it up, that I catch that. So if I have this set up for, let's just say it's 8:50 a.m., not p.m. right now, and I click 9 o'clock and I need to redo my message, that means that some messages are going to go out with those errors. So it's best just to do that, just to be safe. Since we are recording this on a Sunday, I'm going to go ahead and have a start date for tomorrow on Monday. And I like setting off my messages to start at 10 a.m. This is totally just personal preference that I use in my company. However, for best results, just stay between 7 a.m. and 7 p.m. So my particular time will be 10 a.m. The list will be a list you previously uploaded. I cover how to do this in another video, so if you do not know how to upload your list and you don't have one uploaded, please reference that video. We're going to use this Charleston upload list right here. And I can also specify the call route I want to use. Keep in mind that whenever you're sending your text messages off, each phone number can send up to 120 messages per hour. Now, we don't suggest doing this. We suggest sending about 20 to 50 text messages per hour with each phone number, maybe even less. The reason being is because your deliverability rates will significantly suffer the more text messages that are getting sent out per hour. This affects text messaging more so than RVM. You can usually get away with sending off more ringless voicemails per hour per phone number than with text messaging. But remember, with text messaging, the less messages you're sending per hour per phone number, the higher deliverability rate. So we're going to use this Charleston call route here. And this is where we actually get to type our content. So here you can specify your message that you want to indicate. And you can specify particular tokens. Now we go over tokens inside of the settings video. So please reference that and reference your settings if you need to set those up. But basically the tokens allow us to individualize each text message. Now we're going to draft our message here. You can keep the message underneath 160 characters. That's one text message. If you go above that, I highly suggest putting the message 1, 2, and 3 here, meaning breaking your message up into 3 text messages. Because if you have a long block of content here, what's going to happen is some text message carriers, and this is out of our control, but some text message carriers and some phone carriers will actually have your third message go first or your second message go first, and it will be all out of order. However, for simplicity's sake, what we suggest, and to keep your costs down, is to only do one message and keep it underneath 160 characters. So I'm going to go ahead and draft a text message here. And this is where the spin tokens, or this is where the personalized tokens come into play. Based on whatever we uploaded inside of the application, we can actually personalize a message here. So we can say the seller's first name. Hi, first name. So if their name's John, it's going to say John. My name is Alex. And this is just an example message. You don't have to use this, guys. And I'm a local investor. I'm interested in purchasing Are you interested in selling? And as you can see here, it's well below 160 characters. One other thing we could do as well, guys, is have what's called a spin token. So if you want to increase your deliverability rates, I highly suggest using this feature. It's very powerful. So you can vary and randomize particular words in your text message. For instance, in hi, we can add a spin token. I'm going to delete hi right here. And we can add the first value, and this could be hi or hello, or it could be hey. So it's going to randomize which one it uses as it sends off the text messages. This just allows for the messages to be a little bit more individualized so they get past the text messaging spam filters. So keep in mind, these phone carriers are really active in cracking down on spam. And so you want to increase your chances by making your message look as individual as possible. So that's why we randomize the phone numbers and have multiple phone numbers that send off randomized text messages. And we can say, my name is Alex and I'm a local investor. You can also do a spin token here. So I'm saying, I can say local investor. I could say home buyer, or I can say just investor. I'm interested in purchasing. You can also do this. Purchasing could be the first value. You could say buying, or you can say, and if you don't have a third one, you can repeat it, which I'll do right here. So you can say purchasing or buying, their address here. Are you interested in selling? And leave it at that. Now your character count is going to be a much higher than 160, but just keep in mind it's because we have all these tokens here. So you can always use a character counter to see what it would be if you only had, let's just say hello here without the spin tokens and without the additional token characters. If you want your message to run on weekdays only, you can input this here. And you can specify whenever your campaign runs. So we typically run them for 6 hours a day from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. And here you can specify how many messages are sent per hour. So you can do about 40 here. If it's 23 messages per hour per DID, we can do about 50 here. Just based on the size of your list, that will vary. So we try to stay between, 20, 50. I mean, you go up to 120 messages per hour, but we don't suggest that, guys. So I would say 50 is a max here. But you want to buy more phone numbers to increase your deliverability rates. You can do area code matching. So basically, what this does is, if you only want your text messages to get sent from the area codes that the phone numbers are on file have, you can do this. So let's just say I'm sending off a list to a whole bunch of 843 numbers, but I have some 704 numbers on there. And I want the seller to get in a text message from another 704 number. Well, I would have to buy 704 numbers and route it to my call group. So this is just an extra feature that we added that some of our clients have asked about if they're doing very specific targeting and they want to make sure that the sellers are actually receiving text messages from those area codes. However, if you have a large list, let's just say of 10,000 phone numbers, you can probably get away with whatever area code the properties are in. So if I'm targeting Charleston, South Carolina, properties, Charleston area code is 843. I'll most likely use 843, even though I may have some people on it that are in Charlotte, North Carolina, Las Vegas, Nevada, and the list goes on. This is very important, guys, too. We can specify whether to send our messages only to wireless numbers. If you have this unchecked, it will not do this, and everybody will get sent a text message, and it will charge you. So do wireless verification, very important, and it'll only send to wireless phone numbers. We can also suppress particular states and carriers. So let's just say you want to avoid all California Verizon carriers. You just want to completely bypass those for some reason. You can definitely do this here. However, this is something we don't utilize that much, but some of our users ask for it just because in some states like California, I know they're cracking down a lot on mass text messages and mass RVM. So, this may be something that you want to look into, but it's optional. Also, guys, we can scrub against the Blacklist Alliance. If you do not have an API in your settings section, you can do this for 1 cent per search. Lastly, guys, if you have a CRM like Podio or Salesforce you want to push your messages to, you can definitely put that here and you can push them there. If everything looks good, guys, you could go ahead and review it and you can click schedule. And your status will say queued here up until this time starts. And just keep in mind, guys, you only have to upload this once. So you upload this and you do your campaign once, and it's going to send out X amount of messages that you specified per hour, per day. So let's just say we have 100 that go out per day. It's going to continue to do this text message campaign between 10 a.m. and 4 p.m. every single day up until it sends off all 4,700 messages. So you just do it once and check back here at your specified time and make sure it says sending. If it doesn't state sending, what you can do is actually go down and you can click this little play button here, this green play button, and it will send them at that time. If you are seeing that they aren't sent, or if you want to send them earlier, let's just say you want it to start at 9 a.m. tomorrow instead of 10 a.m., you can go ahead and click that green play button. But you just have to do that once and they'll go ahead and send. And once it's over with, it'll say processed. As always, guys, if you have any questions at all, please don't hesitate to email us at info@reileadblast.com.